All right. So, welcome back. All right. So, we have officially started the road to the Chile Half Marathon. This is episode 1, or however I'm going to track it. Anyways, so obviously, the best place to start with anything like this is to make sure you know what your goal is and work towards it. So, um, I have a goal in mind for my half marathon that I'm running in March, and that is to run it in 2 hours or less. Now, that being said, this summer, my goal was to shave off 10 minutes from my from my 10 kilometer pace. So I, over the years, have maintained a 10 kilometers in an hour, and my goal this summer was to shave off 10 minutes of it, which means 10 kilometers in 50 minutes, which means breaking down all the training, I had to be able to run a kilometer in 5 minutes. So, in working on that at the beginning of the season, I did shave off that extra time and I did get down to 5 minute kilometers. Then the goal from there was to ramp up the distance and be able to maintain that pace. Now, long term goals, obviously, over 21 kilometers, you're going to slow down a little bit. So, knowing that my pace wasn't going to stay that was something I had to adjust for and train for, and that's when my training slipped off and work picked up, and excuse. So, anyways, knowing that my goal is to do the half marathon in 2 hours or under, I know that I'm going to have to do some serious work on my pace, some serious work on my endurance, and just stay consistent. Even if it's just little strides at a time, just work away at it, chip away at it, and see what I can do. Obviously, give it my all, do my best. So, that being said, what is my plan for this goal? So I have roughly 4 or 5 months to get in shape for this race, and I definitely want to attack it with at least some sort of strategy. And bear in mind, I haven't really nailed down my strategy yet, other than I'm going to be more consistent and actually train this time around. I haven't finished fully developing a fitness plan or a running routine, but I do know that I'm going to look into some different programs and maybe take up some classes with the running room nearby and look into that. So fitness plan, roughly, is I'm going to try and run at least 3 times a week. I'm going to do a small run, some pace work at a lap or at a track nearby, and then a long run on later on in the week, maybe on the weekend. Give me some time to recover before going back to work. Nutrition and weight-wise, I definitely need to manage this. This is probably my weakest area, but things that I've been working on are trying to make sure that I'm eating non-processed food. I'm trying to minimize eating chips and cookies and junk food like that. It's not good to try and do this when you want to go to the movies all the time, but such is life. And then lastly, I'm trying to nail back the urge to eat fast food when I'm out with my friends or going out, and just simple bites. So obviously life happens, and sometimes you're out and about and you do need food, and you have to make the best decision you can. However, I'm going to try and really, really, really improve on that. So where I am right now, in December last year, I dislocated my left shoulder, and I was out of commission and unable to work out at all for about, let's say, 3 or 4 months. I couldn't really work out. I couldn't go on the bike. Just the jostling the shoulder and getting into a cadence on the bike was too much. So I learned that me as a person, I really associate myself with being an athlete, being athletic, playing sports, all these things. So what ended up happening was I then countered the feeling of depression and frustration and anger at my injury and inability to do activities, and I balanced that with eating literally everything in sight. So I put on roughly 28 pounds. So just before June, let's say I was 228 pounds. And so I've been kind of chipping away at that weight and slowly getting back into it. July, I really came back to work, started working again, staying active. I, later on in the season, decided I would follow suit with attempting 2 triathlons, and then later on the half marathon. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I didn't train very hard for any of those because of work and just my mindset and where I was at. So I was definitely chipping away at my weight, and I was seeing some progress, and then I hadn't really tackled my habits, so it was a losing battle, and I wasn't training, which is, like, everyone knows you can't out-train a bad diet, but I wasn't even trying to out-train it, so I just had, like, bad habits and, like, general, like, lack of care, I guess. So anyway, over time I've been working away at it, and I can proudly say that right now I weigh 202 pounds. Not that the scale is the most accurate way of doing it, but I feel better. I have more energy. I've definitely been more active as of late, and I've been eating a lot better. So I now know that I should probably lose, let's say, another 10-15 pounds, just because general logic. The less you have to carry, the easier it is to move. The easier it is to move, the longer and faster you can move, and that's how you can improve your time. So very, very simple way of looking at it, but it helps just, remind me that there's a reason other than just like, oh, I want to look shredded or whatever. It's like general purpose of fitness and health for myself. And looking good and feeling good is also a benefit of that. But generally speaking, for my goal of this race, that's why I would like to lose a little more weight. So I'm going to have to crack at it and look into some nutrition plans and things like that. But in terms of the plan, that's what I've got. I'm looking forward to putting it into motion, and it's day one. Let's get it. See you guys at the track. Alright, so really long story short, I more or less decided that I was going to skip the track because, one, it was being used by the school because it's a local track, and two, it's kind of miserable out. So I've decided that I'm just going to go hit the gym, get on a treadmill, do some track work there. It's not really track work, but I'll do something, some cardio, get some leg workout going. So today's Wednesday. Monday I played hockey. That was a pretty good cardio workout. So today's going to do some pace work. So just going to set the treadmill to a specific pace I want to run, and then I'm going to just do intervals on it. So 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. I'll probably be doing 10 intervals. So when I was doing that on the track, that was about, let's say 4 kilometers. So 10 times around a 400 meter track. So if I do that again, that should be close to what I'm aiming for. So I will see you guys after. Cheers. So, wasn't really thinking. Just started the machine, started going, doing the laps. Got 5 laps in, so 2K. But I didn't think about the machines. So apparently at 20 minutes it stops you, unless you preset it. So I think I'm just going to stop at that pace. I'm going to try a couple paces a little faster. Just see how my legs feel at a little bit of faster pace, because obviously that's the goal. So maybe do 1 or 2 at a 13 kilometer pace an hour. 13 kilometer an hour pace versus 12. See how my legs feel. Catch you guys on the other side. Alright. That was a good workout. Just to recap, I did 5 laps at 5 minute kilometer pace, and I bumped up the speed to 13 kilometers an hour. I haven't done the math on that, but it's obviously less than 5 minutes a kilometer. Yeah, it was a good pace. I think I need to figure out how long every kilometer is when I do it, then I can time myself back from that and do increments. So I just need to do the math. I couldn't do it on the treadmill. I was just too exhausted and my brain wasn't working. So when I get home, I'll do that today. And I'm gonna go home, stretch, eat, maybe take a hot bath or a hot shower probably, get ready for work, and head on out. So training begins. Cardio, weights, nutrition, consistency, effort over excuses. Alright guys, here we go, journey begins, let's go. Road to the Chile Half Marathon.